Namaste guys, ChristianRLong, life enhancement consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Sunday evening here in Denver, Colorado. It is 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, jumping on for our daily dose of divine light, love, and power with our focus on the power aspect. If you guys have any suggestions on what you would like to see in upcoming light, love, and power episodes, questions about light, love, and power, how to apply light, love, and power into your life, please let me know. Avani Atma Namaste. And I have one question for you today. One question for you today on this stream is, what purpose is power in your life? What purpose is power in your life? So what do I mean by that? If you had all the power in the world, all the influence in the world, all the affluence in the world, what would you do with it? If you had the power to control your thoughts, the power to control your speech, the power to control your feelings, the power to control your actions, and even other people's, what would you do with it? Would you use that power to control and enslave others? Brandy, Atma Namaste. Tyler, Atma Namaste. Welcome. What would you use that power for? Because have you noticed, a lot of people, especially in the first world, are always looking to acquire power, more money, more resources, for what? Jose, Atma Namaste. It's not necessarily looking to acquire more power, influence, a bigger social network for the good of people. It's usually either A, to fulfill some lower nature desire, or B, it's to feel safe and protected, right? Because they're basing acquiring things on fear versus acquiring things to give away, right? So there's an interesting YouTuber. I wouldn't recommend this strategy, but it seems to be working for him. And he's in his early 20s. He's one of the top YouTubers in the world, makes millions and millions of dollars a month through ad revenue, through different marketing channels that he's part of. And almost all of the money that he acquires each and every month, he uses it in some weird challenge that in some way, shape, or form benefits an individual, benefits a certain club or charity, or benefits the world at large. Like one of the things was, he planted millions of trees within a short period of time using all the money that he made on YouTube for that month. And then he does other interesting challenges. I'm trying to remember Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. You can look him up on YouTube. Very, very creative in what he does and how he promotes his channel. But he uses his power, his influence, his affluence, his network, not to pat himself on the back or to acquire a bunch of possessions, but he uses his power and influence and resources to have lots of interesting experiences with lots of people and to add value into the world in some interesting ways, right? So again, the guy's address on YouTube is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. So that's kind of what I want to prick your mind tonight and to think about is, are the things that you're doing in your life to acquire power, Elizabeth, Atma Namaste, is it for the purpose of helping others, alleviating the suffering of others, providing for others, opening up doors for other people? Or are you acquiring power? Karina, Atma Namaste, always good to have you on. Are you looking to acquire power to fulfill your own quote-unquote selfish desires? And when I say selfish desires, I mean your desire is when you accomplish something, it only benefits you primarily, right? Or are you acquiring power to help other people? I remember many years ago, somebody asked one of the masters in pranic healing about power, about prosperity, about abundance, and said, these people who own these jets that are worth 5, 10, $15 million or more, who are they to be buying jets and flying around the world in luxury versus taking the same money they invested in that jet and using it for a project to benefit the third world, clean water, better access to food, better utilities, what have you. And I thought the master's answer was very apropos and said, who are you to tell them what to do with their money? They earned it, and they're entitled to do whatever they want to do with it, right? So someone who develops the power to purchase a plane, a jet, to fly around the world for business That's their choice. That's how they're choosing to use their power. Jessica, namaste. But then you have to ask yourself the question, would that be fulfilling for you? Some people get fulfillment out of acquiring a bunch of riches, but here's the interesting thing. The soul does not develop through acquiring. The soul develops through giving. Karen, namaste. Does that make sense? The soul develops not by accumulating, but the soul develops by giving. For some of you may be familiar with the doctor that Robin Williams played in the movie Patch Adams, which, interestingly enough, when my brother was in college in the mid-90s, he actually had Hunter Adams come to his college, Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts, and give a presentation or a talk about his background. Very, very interesting background, super fascinating. And this person is an embodiment, to me, this person is an embodiment of power, because typically when a doctor takes on, Dean, namaste, takes on a new patient, what do? You maybe fill out 4 or 5 pages of your case history, you submit it to the doctor, and they spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes with you to go, okay, this is everything I need to know about you, and let me prescribe this drug, let me prescribe this treatment, right? But in the case of Hunter Adams, a man who is dedicated to alleviating the suffering of humanity and has been for over 40 years, he would spend a minimum of 4 hours and sometimes over 8 hours with a patient. They would go to the patient's house, they would talk to every member of the patient's family, they would talk to the social network of this patient, they would know every single itty-bitty detail about this patient's case history in order to best serve them. To me, that's a tremendous amount of power, because that's saying, I'm here to serve you, and all the resources I acquire, all the knowledge that I require, all the energy that I acquire, all the money that I acquire is to benefit you. That's super powerful. Paula, namaste, right? Instead of Hunter Adams saying, I only have a limited amount of time, I have a limited amount of resources, I have a limited amount of love, I have a limited amount of whatever, right? So we do what? Instead of expanding our energy, we're doing contracting our energy, contracting our resources, contracting our time, contracting our affection. Karen says, I need to hear this, I need to go, but we'll watch the replay. Perfect. Watch the replay, girl. Love you. Does that make sense? So, as we give, we receive. As you give less, you receive less. So this is connected to the power aspect of the soul. Suresh, namaste, good to have you on. So I hope that makes sense, that you become a powerful person so you can serve more people. What is the point of becoming powerful if all your power is doing is fulfilling your own selfish needs, wants, and desires? Because you will find out it will become very, very boring and very lonely and very unfulfilling when you're like, how can I acquire more? How can I acquire more? How can I acquire more? Again, this isn't judgment. This isn't an ethical judgment or a moral judgment about people who work to acquire resources and assets for their own purpose. But it has to be bigger than yourself if you want long-term fulfillment, right? Because how much do we as the individual actually need for transportation, for housing, for food, for insurance? Like, how much resources do we really need to live a comfortable life? Not much, right? Not much. But the people that say, I'm only fulfilled if I'm living in the biggest house, driving the most exotic car, taking the most luxurious vacations, if that doesn't happen, I'm not fulfilled. So you have a very, very high bar, high expectations to fulfillment. Think about it. Versus the yogi, who they drop everything down and they go, I have my physical body is fed, my physical body has shelter and protection, I'm content, I am blissful, I am happy. To me, that's power. That's a tremendous amount of power. Not for the purpose of being selfish, but for the purpose of I'm centered, I know who and what I am, I'm connected to God, I'm provided for by God, I'm powerful through the energy of God, and I'm going to serve humanity. Mother Teresa, right? Almost nothing in her name, almost no material and financial resources in her name. But if she needed a private jet to fly somewhere in the world to help out with a march, a peace rally, something for the United Nations, to give a speech to inspire people of goodwill and the will to do good, she could snap her fingers and have some executive or CEO of a Fortune 500 company that she had built relationships with come out, bring her a jet, and then fly anywhere in the world, right? She had power, not because she had financial and physical resources, but she had access to anything that she needed. Does that make sense? So power comes from within. When you acquire power, what are you going to do with that power? Are you going to use your power to help others, or are you going to use your power to enslave others, or are you going to use your power to enslave yourself? Think about it. So I hope that helps. Thank you guys very, very much for joining today's stream of Divine Light, Love, and Power with our focus on the power aspect. Join us, Amy, Abba Namaste. Join us tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. What? 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time for the Daily Twin Hearts Meditation to bless and heal Mother Earth. It's on this exact same page, and I look forward to serving you. For those of you looking for healing, looking for transformation, looking to develop the power aspect within you, feel free to contact me at ChristianRLong.com. It's my name, it's my website. Everything is on there. You can schedule a healing session right then and there, and I look forward to serving you. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye. I'm going to like your little tiny hands over here. Tiny hands everywhere. Bam, bam. Love you guys. Have a great day.